Will the August 25th, 2026 council meeting please come to order? So the morning greeting, if you wish to say it, is Anyang. I think I've told you before that my grandfather was born in Korea, came from Korea, married my grandmother who came from Spain. They had 8 children but had trouble communicating. I don't know hardly any Korean except for Anyang and kimchi.
So,
Yes.
Chair, I checked in with my expert Korean, and it's 안녕하세요 is the polite way to say
Oh,
it.
the polite, okay.
Yeah, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. I stand corrected. So may we have, let's see. I have announcement. Members, good morning to everyone. Before the meeting begins, I would like to announce that Committee Report 2662 and Resolution 26142 are canceled from today's agenda. OIP has advised us in the past not to take questions or oral testimony on a canceled item. Thank you for your understanding and apologies for any inconvenience.
Can you repeat the numbers?
2662 and 26142.
Okay.
Okay, I think that has to do with nominees, yeah. Okay. The 2 resos, right.
No, it's one reso and one bill, right? You
Oh,
said-
I'm sorry.
You
Committee
said
Report
2662.
Committee Report 2662 and Resolution 26142.
Yeah, and I can't tell you what that bill is.
And what?
Under OAP, I can't tell you what the bill is, even though it's written on the
Oh,
agenda.
okay, I didn't hear what you said. All right, so getting back to the greeting, roll call. Ms. Clerk? Anyang Seo.
Thank you, Chair. Proceeding with roll call. For any members that are participating remotely, if you could please let us know as a part of roll call who, if anyone, is with you, except for minors. Councilmember Shane Sinensi,
Aloha Kakayak and Anyang Seyo.
Councilmember Nohelani Uuhajens,
안녕하세요, everyone.
Councilmember Tom Cook,
Annyeonghaseyo and aloha, good morning.
Councilmember Kiani Rollins Fernandez,
Aloha. Aloha kakahiaka. 안녕하세요 to Member Cook's expert. 안녕하세요, kako.
Councilmember Gabe Johnson,
Anyang Sayao, good morning, Chair, Council members, committee members. There's no testifiers here at the Lanai District Office. I'm alone on my side of the office, and here I'm ready to work. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Councilmember Tamara Paulton,
Aloha kakayaka and anyang haseo kako.
Vice Chair Yukilei Sugimura,
Good morning, everybody. Anyang Sayo. Did I get it? Tom Cook?
Almost. Yours has a little bit Filipino in it.
Oh, good.
Dahil sa'yo, Anyang Seo. Some
I love
close
that.
enough.
I love that.
Councilmember Kawanoi Batangan,
Aloha Kakahiaka and Anyang Seo.
and Council Chair Alice Lee.
Anyang Seo. Good morning, everyone. I have another announcement before I forget. Please don't forget your donations to HSAC for the prizes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chair, you have all 9
Two
members present.
prizes each.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, prizes. If you have any if you need an explanation, ask our HSAC representative and the president, Tamara Paulton. Okay, Ms. Clerk.
Chair, you have 9 members present, which means you have a quorum present to conduct the business of the council. For the record, I'm the county clerk, Moana Ludi, and seated next to me is the deputy clerk, Rochelle Thompson. Also present from our office is legislative division staff Joyce Morishige, Lauren Saldana, Del Yoshida, Edgar Yoshida, and Arthur Suyama. Assisting the council with maintaining order and decorum is our council ambassador, Ryan Martins. Joining the meeting from the Office of Council Services is Director David Rotz and Deputy Director Rochelle Kawasaki. And from the Department of the Corporation Council is First Deputy Mimi Desjardins.
Opening remarks will be provided by Councilmember Tom Cook.
Good morning, council members, staff, friends, neighbors. As we begin today's council meeting, I would like to share my opening remarks titled A Future Built on Collaboration. First, I want to formally recognize the recent impacts of Hurricane Lala and Tropical Storm Moki. My heartfelt thanks go out to the first responders, emergency management personnel, utility crews, and the recovery agencies at every level of government. These dedicated individuals continue to work tirelessly to keep our communities safe. I also want to extend my deepest gratitude to our residents for your incredible kukua. Thank you for preparing your households, looking out for your neighbors, and helping one another through intense impacts of these back-to-back storms. My heart goes out to the families across the state, particularly our friends on the Big Island, who have experienced devastating infrastructure damage. These moments remind us that while we all live on different islands, we share the exact same vulnerabilities. When one community hurts, the impact ripples across the entire state. Maui County knows intimately what it means to receive that kind of support. Hawaii County stood firmly with us following the wildfires, and now we have the opportunity and a duty to extend the same spirit of aloha back to our ohana on the Big Island. As I prepared these remarks, I reviewed what I shared with you earlier this year in April. I spoke about the flooding caused by the March Kona lows, which caused heavy havoc in my home district of South Maui. As Hurricane Lala and Tropical Storm Moke drew near last week, that looming danger served as another stark reminder. These recurring events prove that extreme weather, disaster mitigation, and economic strains are not isolated crises we can fix and move past. They are ongoing realities. Resilience requires continuous readiness. We must be prepared to respond again and again. Looking forward, we have already identified the exact challenges in front of us. We know where our infrastructure is vulnerable. We know the urgent importance of flood mitigation and reliable water supply. We know the intense pressures facing our natural resources and agricultural lands. The question is no longer whether we recognize these problems. The question is whether this body is willing to work together consistently and with absolute urgency to address them. I look around this chamber today and I see my colleagues. I know we face deep divisions, but everything before us brings us back to one core necessity: solidarity. Collaboration does not mean that we always agree. It does not mean that we will share the exact same priorities, perspectives, or solutions. But I believe at the heart of our work, we share something much greater: a deep love for our island and a commitment to caring for its land, people, and that common bond must bridge the gaps that currently separate us. As a council, we carry heavy legislative responsibility. Through our ordinances, resolutions, and oversight, we dictate the direction of our county and the future we build for generations to come. That responsibility requires more than agreement and principle. It requires collaboration and practice. It means actively listening when we disagree, identifying where our perspectives differ, finding where working together produces a better outcome for our community. We all want healthy communities. We all want to preserve our natural resources, secure a resilient water supply, and support local agriculture. Let us channel our differences into productive debate, rise above political division, and deliver the leadership that Maui County deserves. Thank you for allowing me to share this morning. I yield the floor back to the chair.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you.
And could I make
Please.
one brief announcement?
Sure.
Maui Parks Department in Kihei, starting this Friday, I'm going to put flyers in the lobby, and it says August 21st, but they canceled last week. So August 28th, this Friday night, and September 4th at Kalama Park, another annual Sunset Tunes with live Hawaiian music at the pavilion. Bring chairs and towels and enjoy Kalama Park at sunset. It's really a fun event, and I'm hoping people can share and come along.
Thank you. And now the Pledge of Allegiance. Before we proceed with today's agenda, may I please request that everyone keep their microphones muted unless it's your turn to speak. As a reminder, testimony must pertain to items on the meeting agenda. When testifying, please direct your remarks to the council and not to any individual council member or member of the public. Each testifier will be allowed to speak for up to 3 minutes on each item. For individuals wishing to testify on Teams, please click the Raise Your Hand button to be added to the log. If you are calling in, please follow the phone prompts to be added to the log. If you wish to testify anonymously, please sign in as anonymous, and you will be given a testifier number. Decorum shall be maintained at all times. Any person who behaves in a manner that disrupts, disturbs, or impedes the orderly conduct of any council meeting can, at the discretion of the presiding officer or a majority of present council members, be ejected or banned from council meetings, or, if participating remotely, muted or dropped from the meeting. Examples of disruptive behavior include, but are not limited to, heckling, shouting, use of profanity, threatening, or slanderous remarks made to any member of the council, staff, or general public. All meeting attendees, whether online or in person, are expected to wear clothing which should not display profanity, obscenity, or any message that could be considered discriminatory, harassing, or inappropriate for these proceedings. Ms. Clerk, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Individuals may now testify on any item on today's agenda. Chair, the first person to testify is Heather Hershen. She'll be testifying on Bills 112 and 113, to be followed by Kahala Johnson. And if you'll let us know when you're done on the first bill, and we'll reset the clock for the second.
Aloha, my name's Heather Hirschen. I've lived in Napili for 34 years. I care very deeply about my community, and that's why I'm here. My father, a career LAPD detective, always told me, watch out for who's watching you. Flock and Axios cameras are being put up at breakneck speed all over the nation using the Flock Safety Automated License Plate Reader Network, which uses AI algorithms to catalog a vehicle's make, model, color, bumper stickers, and unique markings. This builds an extensive digital footprint of everyday citizens. According to ACLU, this technology creates a pervasive form of mass surveillance and warrantless tracking. The network captures vehicle locations automatically without suspicion or legal consent. This allows the government and private entities to reconstruct a driver's movements over time, which violates our Fourth Amendment rights. Private entities like HOAs and commercial retailers like Home Depot purchase these devices and feed directly to police departments, turning residential areas and parking lots into surveillance zones. This data is also being used to aid in deportation dragnets, being shared across state lines and integrated into a broader nationwide database. As a distance runner and a single mother, I'm always watching out for myself, and seeing those cameras anywhere along my route makes me highly uncomfortable and feel unsafe. Officers have already been caught and convicted using these nefariously to stalk women, to follow them, their exes, women they're interested in. If you place these in parks and around schools where their children are playing, you're going to find perverts behind those cameras watching and following children as well. And if you can imagine it, someone else can too. These cameras are hackable. They discovered that dozens of active Flock cameras across the country were streaming live unencrypted footage directly to the open internet, and that anyone with a simple URL can access these feeds without entering a username or password. They're for collection of data, not for our safety. They not only look at your license plate, every ding, sticker modification on your car, but they're now equipped with facial recognition. According to Roseville Police Department and Business Insider, up to 71% automated hot list alerts sent to police from Flock cameras contain misread license plate, putting everyone at risk for an unlawful arrest. That a percentage is obscene. A 23-year-old woman, Lindsay Isaacs, was misidentified as a hit-and-run driver by Flock cameras. She had no damage to her car, any evidence of a hit-and-run, but was still thrown in jail months later for 2 weeks. She's filing civil rights lawsuits against Florida Highway Patrol. Just imagine the lawsuits. We the people are treated as armed and dangerous before any verification occurs, which is a direct reversal of due process. With Flock, we're guilty until proven innocent. The Flock's Axios camera has big investors. They're selling our data. Insurance companies are using them routinely now, pulling images of your car to see if you lied about damage. In about 30 seconds, they have hundreds of images of your car through an ISO search, and all they need is your name, address, license plate number. Lastly, every Flock camera is on notice. The Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that police acquiring your phone's location data count as a search. The majority ruled that citizens possess a reasonable expectation of privacy concerning their historical phone data, meaning law enforcement intrudes on constitutional protections when demanding this information. And we want this out of our community, and every one single one torn down, and these do nothing to serve us. Imagine wearing a camera on your body to the only thing to protect yourself in this scenario. Take it to the extreme, because that's where it will go. Thank you so much for your time.
Members, questions? No questions. Thank you.
Yeah. The next testifier is Kahala Johnson, also testifying on bills 112 and 113. And again, if you could let us know when you're done with the first item, we'll reset the clock.
Oh, thanks for that clarification, Mahalo. Annyeong Seong. Beautiful. Aloha, my name is Dr. Kahala Johnson. I'm a member of the National Lawyers Guild and a trained legal observer accustomed to documenting police violence and surveillance upon my lahui. As a reminder, Hawaiians are the highest incarcerated people targeted by the occupying police state in Hawaii, yet we are a minority on our own aina. The reason this statistic exists is due to the U.S. police state, which surveils, kills, and imprisons my people to take our lands. It is Black August, and it is a time for us to celebrate and remember Black prisoners, political prisoners. The history of surveillance and incarceration I carry into this chamber began long before I was ever trained as a legal observer. Following the U.S.-backed overthrow of the Hawaiian Kingdom, my ancestor was surveilled and abducted by the provisional government on false charges of leprosy. Like many other Kanaka, he was deported to Kalaupapa to die in order for his lands to be stolen by the plantations. His story reminds me that surveillance in Hawaii is never just about observing people or collecting data, though that is true. But surveillance is about distracting and inverting our gaze. It is about turning our sight away from the root causes of violence. It's about the U.S. police state making Kanaka look like a threat while hiding its own genocidal violence in plain view. Speaking in solidarity with my kupuna, I oppose resolutions 26-112 and 26-113, not because I agree with the technology, but because I oppose the very terms of this debate, which distracts our gaze from the root cause of violence toward my lahui, the police state, this county and its policies, and the Maui Police Department. Standing in solidarity with my kupuna, I oppose any policy that only regulates or reforms rather than prohibits and dismantles technologies that distract us from seeing the everyday violence that is incarcerating and killing Kanaka. Colonizers are the original flock cameras. This is something I say because racism and colonialism are the original surveillance technologies that were tested and developed on the skin of Black and Indigenous peoples. Policies like the infamous New York Lantern laws required unaccompanied Black and Indigenous persons to carry lit candles after dark so they remain visible to colonizers and slave owners. Again, surveillance is about inversion and distraction from the root causes of violence. Long before facial recognition and license plate readers, colonial governments used branding, slave passes, runaway advertisements, blood quantum, census rolls, and registries to control and kill our Black and Indigenous ohana, and they imported that here. These technologies were used to incarcerate my ancestor Kalaupapa. They were developed by the same racist colonial order the United States uses to terrorize and kill us. The technology may change, but the racist and colonial purpose remains the same, making targeted communities permanently visible to the state while concealing the state's own violence. The resolutions continue this legacy by authorizing the accelerated use of artificial intelligence, facial recognition, and LPR biometric databasing. Thank you. These are the Lantern laws. These are the slave master brands. These are the leper police patrols authorizing and expanding American fascism today. At the same time, the resolutions are themselves surveillance and policing mechanisms because they control the boundaries of this policy decision. They ask whether police can use these technologies responsibly and therefore fail to ask the more fundamental question of whether police should possess them at all. By directing our attention toward when and how police may watch us, the resolutions distract our gaze from the root conditions the county should be addressing: houselessness, poverty, unmet healthcare needs, the abandonment of disaster survivors, the detention and deportation of immigrants, and the return of lands to Kanaka. In doing so, they reproduce the racist and colonial purpose of surveillance. Marginalized communities become the objects to be watched, killed, and incarcerated, while the institutions producing that violence escape scrutiny. And on that note, MPD cannot be trusted to scrutinize itself, but these resolutions allow MPD to designate surveillance users, write the rules, audit records. MPD would control both the surveillance system and what the public is permitted to see about its abuses, and that this is both embarrassing and ironic given the present federal investigation. To remind the county, your Justice Department has charged Lieutenant Michael Vaitu-Ulala with allegedly accepting bribes to project drug trafficking and disclosing confidential information, the same kind of sensitive information these technologies would collect and these resolutions would authorize MPD to control. To further remind the county, Chief Pelletier previously commanded Las Vegas Police Department's Narcotics Bureau and came to Maui promising trust and transparency. Yet the alleged conduct of his own lieutenant somehow escaped his notice. How does that happen? Perhaps I could support these resolutions if they're amended to fund corrective lenses for the chief rather than more cameras for watching our communities. But if a former narcotics commander could not detect his lieutenant allegedly protecting drug traffickers, this council cannot trust MPD to detect and disclose its own surveillance abuses. Self-regulation allows police to keep their gaze fixed upon Kanaka and other marginalized communities while directing the public's gaze away from police misconduct. MPD cannot be permitted to watch all of us while deciding for itself what we are allowed to see about them. And so in conclusion, rather than expand the U.S. police state or trust police to regulate themselves, the county should impose a moratorium advancing prohibition and dismantlement. It should stop all use, acquisition, contracting, data collection, and interagency sharing involving surveillance technologies used to incarcerate and kill Kanaka. This is not a compromise or an opportunity for better safeguards. It immediately reduces police capacity while advancing dismantlement. The objective is not better managed surveillance. It is dismantling the machinery that targets Kanaka as a threat. Maui does not need more funding to track our faces, vehicles, and movements. We need housing, healthcare, harm reduction, emergency response, survivor support, and land return to Kanaka. Stop budgeting the imprisonment and death of our Kanaka. Mahalo.
Thank you. Questions, members? Member Johnson has a question for you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Dr. Johnson, for your testimony. I really appreciate it, and you educated me on some facts that I didn't know. So I noticed that you wrote it down. Would you be willing to send that to the committee so I can actually have that?
Yeah, sorry, folks. I keep forgetting. Absolutely. Okay, I definitely will do. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the education. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Chair, the next testifier is Jake Carton, testifying on Bills 112 and 113, to be followed by Kimo Clark.
Good morning, Council. My name is Jake Carton. I'm a voting resident of Wailuku and also here on behalf of Maui Indivisible. I'm reserving 3 minutes to speak to Bill 112 and then another 3 minutes to Bill 113. We appreciate the council members recognizing that our community needs to be protected from MPDs and the county's secret mass real-time spy project. Bill number 112 is a good first start, and we support it with reservations that the bill does not legitimize and normalize this mass spy project, but rather starts to bring sunshine and begins a public conversation. We need to do much more because of the ways police have exploited gaps in our rights and because of current MPD practices secretly collaborating with Trump's police state. We know this is more than about cameras and drones everywhere tracking us in real time by license plates and facial recognition, more than about satellites tracking our location through personal cell phone numbers and our tech devices, and about sorting all this detail with powerful cutting-edge computers. We also need to protect against the feds and multinational corporations using all forms of our private info that the county collects to track us, not just license plates, cell phones, and human faces. For example, mandatory government IDs like chipped passports that Trump may mandate for us to vote, or driver's licenses with barcodes and holograms. That's just the start. We need to protect ourselves also from the county integrating its databases with other government databases, and from private companies sharing county data with other private companies back to the feds, and so on. The county needs to control this runaway train that it already funded. The good news is it already has the tools. The tools are regular public reporting and independent audits, the revealing of private contracts as soon as they are proposed, verification tours of all surveillance centers open to the public, tracking tags on data, and meaningful consequences for data breaches and other civil liberty violations. We ask the council to bring this whole project in the sunshine, publicly investigate and invite community voices. The Maui Charter says it is your power and duty. Before you spend another dime on surveillance, please respect our county charter. We ask now to place annual sunsets on the county funding of this Maui-wide mass spy project so that the full public evaluation, which the council has failed to do so far, can be done instead of living forever in a surveillance state that tightens the screws against our freedoms. We, the Maui community, know almost nothing about this mass surveillance project because the MPD has unlawfully kept it secret, despite Maui Indivisible's formal Uniform Information Practice Act requests. We don't know yet where the data that the MPD and the county are collecting on us might end up and how this data will be used. Judging by the swiftly moving fascism of Trump's feds, the checkered track record of the MPD, and the many stories of abuse of this tool in police departments throughout the nation, leading to many recent county government terminations of these projects, the answers are probably scary. Aside from the council budget chair, who has written detailed exchanges about and collaborated on this spy project with the MPD chief, and at least one council member who actually toured one of these surveillance centers and gave it his stamp of approval, we also appreciate that almost all of you likely don't know much about it either. we do know that the council has funded the MPD and county with our tax dollars to build this secret surveillance project, while the council has yet to enact protections. This is despite Maui Indivisible asking for this publicly and directly of both chairs of the Budget and Government Relations and Transparency Committees for the last year repeatedly. We also know that the MPD is collaborating with Trump's Department of Justice. That's right, the Pam Bondi and now Todd Blanche DOJ, which includes Kash Patel FBI, to fund this surveillance project. Once again, the MPD has unlawfully entered into intergovernmental agreements with the feds without the council's approval under State Law 46-7. We do know that many private contractors to police department surveillance projects across the nation sell all of this real-time data to ICE, which it uses to hunt humans in real time. We do know that the last month, ICE picked Maui to launch escalated daily sweeps with a tempo not yet seen anywhere in Hawaii. The ICE sweeps were also vastly more swift and surgical and indicate that ICE has new tools. Are they using county tools? We do know that MPD officially said it, quote, currently does not have any written protocols that govern transmitting data that MPD collects, from camera, phone, and text surveillance of Maui residents to private sector entities or to other government entities. Nor does it have written protocols that govern MPD storing and or analyzing data it collects from camera, phone, and text surveillance of Maui residents or visitors. Those are quotes from the formal UIPA requests we made to the police. We do know that the county has at least one so far unsigned data non-disclosure agreement, so it has a template to work with these companies. But we don't know if the county has made this standard for all MPD or county contracts or implemented any compliance and verification mechanisms. We do know that Trump launched Operation Puppet Master to suppress legal domestic dissent.
Time.
And I'll wrap up. Thank you. So there's a lot we don't know, and we're asking the council to start finding out and involve the rest of us, please. Aloha.
Thank you. Members, any questions? I see no questions. Oh, one question, Member Cook.
Thank you. My clarifying question is, I think that's a reasonable request to look into these things. And do you feel that MPD, I mean, the Maui Police Department, I mean, there's been a lot of statement about the national and everything. Do you think that MPD is different at all, or you just lump them all together?
I don't think it matters what I feel. Let's start finding out facts. And
thank you.
I do know that we have asked MPD formally and legally for this information, and they have blocked it. So that's a fact. Okay, thank you.
Chair, the next testifier is Kimo Clark, testifying on Resolution 26-139, to be followed by Sharon Menifee.
Morning, everybody. Setting my timer. Okay, my name is Kimo Clark, and I was born and raised in Lahaina. As a kid growing up Lahaina Luna, I remember Pioneer Mill burning cane next to my house. I remember the big cane haul trucks crossing the streets and the bridge over Lahaina Luna Road moving through the mill. That mill is a part of my family's history. My great-grandfather came here from China as an immigrant to work at Pioneer Mill. Generations later, I would own a piece of that same property and build a business of my own there. Truth Excavation has been in business for over 15 years. We've employed hundreds of people, and we've always tried to give back to the community that supported us, donating our time, equipment, and services to schools, churches, local families, and responding whenever Maui had a disaster. I personally fought both major Lahaina fires, the 2018 fire that burned down the mountain toward my base yard and surrounding homes, and the August 8th fire. On 8/8/2023, I fought the fire that morning in my parents' neighborhood and continued through the night and into the following days alongside firefighters, police officers, and members of our community. At the same time, I watched my own base yard, shop, office, and my home burn in Waikuli. Since that day, Truth Excavation has been involved in every phase of Lahaina's recovery: fighting the fire, clearing roads, search and recovery, soil stabilization, hazardous material removal, demolition, and now rebuilding. 3 years later, we're still here. Many outside companies came to Lahaina, worked the most profitable jobs, and left. We stayed. We did the work that needed to be done, whether there was money in it or not, because this is our home. We're extremely fortunate to acquire this property. I happen to be in a position where I could keep working while so many other local entrepreneurs lost everything. Today, hundreds of Lahaina businesses still haven't had that opportunity. They need places to reopen. Their employees need jobs, and Lahaina needs its local economy back. My vision for this property is 100% locally owned and operated businesses. With this zoning change, we can eventually increase the capacity and potentially incorporate mixed-use workforce housing. Visitors don't come to Maui looking for another Starbucks or another corporate chain. They come here for something authentic. They want Maui's food, Maui's people, Maui's culture, and Maui's small businesses. Those businesses need somewhere to exist. I believe strongly in protecting agricultural land and keeping Maui green and productive, but this small parcel is surrounded by residential homes, county land, commercial zoning, and is not realistically going to be used for agriculture. Keeping its own agriculture simply because that's what it always has been does not serve Lahaina. Changing this property to light industrial gives it the opportunity to support local businesses, create local jobs, and become a meaningful part of Lahaina's recovery for generations to come. That's the Lahaina I hope we can rebuild together, a place where local people have the opportunity to work, build businesses, raise their families, and remain part of this community. Mahalo.
Thank you. Questions? Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Clark. I just wanted to clarify the parcel is currently zoned part heavy industrial and part ag, and this change is needed because there's not enough space for parking if you were to just build on the heavy industrial part, right?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Any more questions?
And
Yeah.
one more.
Okay.
You're requesting us to send this to the Planning Commission today for floor action, right?
Yeah, whatever's the fastest.
Thank you. I mean, it's been 3 years, so yeah. Thank you.
Another question, Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. I support this. We definitely need more commercial for Lahaina, and thank you for having the initiative. What is the name of your company?
Truth Excavation.
Oh, you did say that. So you're not Pu'uvai or...
Pu'uvai o Lahaina is our LLC that owns the land, but I'm the owner of that. And then we submitted permits for a commercial building called Milko. Ko is the Hawaiian word for sugar, so it's a play on words like company. So Milko, Mill Sugar Company. And it's a market, it's an 18,000 square foot building, and it's gonna have all businesses that lost their place in the fire. Local gyms, restaurant space, hairdresser, tattoo shop, all the stuff.
Great. Lahaina Jewelers wants to get back to Lahaina.
Bring them all.
Yeah.
Give us the permission to make more buildings.
Yes. Thank you. Support this.
Any more questions? If not, thank you very much.
Chair,
Thank
the
you,
next
guys. Have a good day.
testifier is Sharon Menifee, testifying on bills 112 and 113. And again, if you could let us know when you finish the first item, we'll reset the clock. She will be followed by James Langford.
Is James Langford the last testifier?
There's one more after him, Greg Rilsky.
Okay.
Very nervous, sorry. My name is Sharon Menifee, and I wanted to bring up these 112 and
Can you speak closer to the mic?
112 and 113.
Okay.
First of all, I'll bring up the National Defense Authorization Act. It says you cannot use electronic parts that are made in China. I suspect they do have parts made in China because there's hardly anything that isn't made in China. And also, it's a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. So I don't want to repeat what others have said about this, but I would like to point out there's a YouTube video. I hate to say YouTube, but anyways, there's a title, "We Hacked Flock Safety Cameras in Under 30 Seconds." Okay, so what they did is that they said anybody can do this anytime and anywhere. So that they, okay, so you can go to the cameras, you can flip a switch, you can download the data, you can delete videos. You can see where police cars at any time. So it's like a double-edged sword. So what they did is that they looked on a Lowe's camera, they found a couple that had a baby, they loaded up the merchandise, they did a little facial recognition, they found the garage that they kept their vehicle. So this is a perfect tool for anyone that wants to steal the merchandise or the child. This was another one. In another state, they found a couple that was arguing. They did facial recognition on them. And they said that, also these cameras are adjustable, so they zoom in on what you're looking at on your phone. Okay, they can do pretty much anything. And they were saying that you don't need to be an expert at computers. Anyone can do this, all right? So, just a second here. So anyways, this couple, they were arguing, so they found that this, one of them was finishing medical school, the other one had irritable bowel syndrome. They had a child the year before. Their finances were a little concerning, you know, their income to whatever ratio. I'm sorry, I'm very nervous. And so then he followed them. He followed them. They went to church. They went to a market. They bought a sweater. I mean, everything about this this family was tracked and stayed in the cameras.
Time.
So anyway, these things are an absolute violation of our Constitution. And the thing is that they're being upgraded by a company called Leonardo, which is an Israeli company. And we just joined military intelligence with the Israeli military. And there's supposed to be an Indo-Pacific type communication that includes drones with lasers, which is a big concern, and other things. And the attitude of this other party is pretty negative because they have gone to the Philippines. They've set up a little place where they're very disrespectful. They call the locals slaves. Peter Thiel, who owns Palantir, who is also does all this data, he's trying to establish a place in Honolulu, and people are rising up against it. They were trying to sneak in their business. So I believe that they really have plans for Maui. I think they're planning something like a database, because this type of surveillance with cameras and drones and these people, you know, that we know are nefarious, they have nefarious intentions. They need to be paid attention to.
You have a minute and a half more.
Okay. Anyway, so I think it's really important to cancel these contracts. There's many people that are destroying the flock cameras. There's sheriffs for like Pinal County has gone online and basically said, we are not supporting this. It's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. They're just canceling these contracts all across the country for good reason. And so this is just a small thing that we have. Actually, it's a very big thing. We have to do this, and it's not going to stop. They're going to keep coming with Axon and all these other companies, but we have to keep stopping them because it is endangering our children, our elderly. It opens us up completely to scams. because you can find out your social security number, your money, what you have in the bank account. When you leave your house, okay, where your children are, they have these cameras on playgrounds, extremely dangerous. And so the contract has to be canceled.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank
Members,
you.
clarifying questions?
Hello.
If not, thank you very much.
Chair, the next testifier is James Langford. Please let us know which item or items you're testifying on. We'll reset the clock when you're finished with the first one, to be followed by Greg Rilski.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's lovely to see you. You look awesome. I hope these remaining days are so blessed for you.
Thank you.
112, 113. I do agree with a lot of the folks that are testifying on this flock stuff. The concerns are very, very valid. And like you guys know, I'm pretty good at computers. So imagine if I released all the data that I could get with my skill set, hearing that it's all publicly available now. Man, I don't want to think like that. Unless there was a great point in the call, in the opening statements for collaboration. Let's create situations where we don't have to criminally collaborate as well. That's unfortunately we're seeing globally, as we've heard, corporations and folks pressured into voting a certain way so money moves a certain way. In this case, knowing the culture of these expert level computer guys, they're all on drugs and they don't have compassion and empathy for anything other than their bottom line, because that's corporately how it's set up. So you folks are empowered to be like, we need a humanity check here. This is violating the Fourth Amendment. But that's not, like, the rationale why is to open up claims against the 14th Amendment to enslave people with soft incarceration. So whomever's in here, it doesn't matter anymore. This is essentially what we're working with. So I know these guys at Palantir. I know these Musk characters, and they're good at buying other people's technology or stealing it, and they don't know how to use it. So now a bad actor comes along and says, oh, all of these politicians are, federally speaking, are on our payroll, so we can get this money if this happens. And as someone that, you know, I intimately know people that have been targeted with this software, so, you know, it looks like this. So thank you. I'm neutral. You guys know what to do. And I love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, questions? If not, thank you very much. Next testifier.
Chair, the next testifier is Greg Rilski. He is online, and if you could please let us know what item or items he'll be testifying on. He will be followed by Robert Bentz.
Aloha Council. I am testifying on 26-60 and a little bit on 112 and 113. And I hope to keep my total testimony less than 3 minutes. So as a West Maui resident, I very much support the purchasing and the elimination of tribally controlled water sources everywhere in the county. And so I fully support and hope that the council will move forward on the acquisition of the West Maui water systems. And I just want to touch on just a handful of things on 12 and 13. I think I missed the fact that it sounds like we already have agreements in place, and this is trying to rein them in. On 112, facial recognition, the audit looks like it's exclusively in the hands of the police chief every 3 months. So it'd be nice to know if he's the only one that can look at this, or if there is a possibility of a citizens committee to review any potential audits. And for both of them, I guess my question is, where are these being processed? Are these being processed in Hawaii? Are these being processed in Europe? Where is the processing going on? Where is this information being stored? Do we have a sovereignty of making sure that the data stays within the county? Does it stay within the state? Does it stay within the country? Where is it backed up to? How is all of that? How is all of that handled? And it would be nice to see some of that. There are European nations that are very particular about where their data goes, and they don't want it to go to the U.S. for a lot of the reasons why a lot of the testifiers have already alluded to. But does the county want to make sure that we keep that information within the county, or are we okay with it going worldwide? Right? Do we want to have that processing that's happening in real time on live cameras? Do we want to have that happening in the county, in the state? Does it matter where that happens? So I'm going to conclude my testimony now. I just wanted to point out that there are those technical pieces that I don't know if they were addressed in something prior. Forgive me, I didn't. I was testifying on the water thing, and I saw the facial recognition, and as somebody who knows a little bit about technology and privacy and having security concerns, I just hope that we can find out if that's important. Where do those things happen, and where do we keep that data? And if we do purge that data, how do we verify that data has been purged? So thank you very much. And I apologize that I couldn't be in chambers today.
Thank you. Questions, members? If not, thank you. Ms. Clark.
Chair, the next testifier is Robert Bentz, and if you could please let us know what matters you'll be testifying on, to be followed by Stacy.
Aloha, council members and everybody. Mostly on 112 and 113, but I also heard about that water right now. I'm assuming that you guys are gonna do what's right with the water. Usually also on the ag, would oppose any ag rezoning, but that sounds like it's good for Lele, so that one is good. But Bill 112, 113, I don't really understand them. I only saw the titles of facial recognition and license plate readers. But if it is to rein in what is already, I think that's a good one. And there is a massive nationwide backlash against this flock. And I saw John Oliver had a special about it. They said, Big Brother was famously not the hero of 1984. So anybody that read that book, it's kind of predicting what we are in right now. And no place that has had this technology has actually had them reduce any crime whatsoever. And if you see the Hawaii News Now, they had an interview with an anonymous MPD officer, and he seemed to infer that the police chief from Vegas might not be squeaky clean, and that's why he had to be anonymous. I also know that our governor also not from here, so bringing in all these for-profit, foreign-owned companies to do something that's not going to help anybody with any crime, when the actual crime, allegedly, according to the FBI, who did this MPD bust with no help from MPD, they came in unannounced. So I would say that if it's under the chief for review, it should be reviewed by public citizens, maybe the council, but just please get rid of all of these technologies. We already have so much private cameras that if anything happens, everybody will give up their private doorbell cameras or whatever. So we don't really need this public model.
Questions, members? If not, thank you.
Chair, the last testifier currently signed up is Stacy. Oh, I see a hand raised. Is that Stacy Alapai? Oh, you're unmuted on our end.
Aloha, council members. I'm here testifying on Bill 112 and 113, like everybody else. Rather than talking about the national conversation around these flock cameras, I wanted to talk about the two bills on the table. Regarding facial recognition technology, I support the bill's intentions to apply some safeguards around this on how the technology is allowed to be used. And I look forward to the discussion in committee on how we can add more safeguards to this legislation. People have already said, I think in general, the values of our community are against mass surveillance. I don't see any actual data backing any kind of evidence saying that this technology makes us safer. And I think that putting these safeguards like Member Paulton has written it is going to at least help mitigate some of the harm from this type of technology. And for facial recognition, especially the piece about it not being used as an identifying factor, just as related to specific existing criminal investigations, I think that's a really important safeguard that we need. I just saw a story on the continent of somebody who was given a red light ticket when they were not even in the state where the red light was supposedly run. And so I think that we need real police officers, human police officers to enforce these laws because we need to protect the rule of law, that people are innocent until proven guilty, especially with the technology of AI being able to really we can't really trust video evidence anymore. So I don't see why the county is investing our tax dollars into video surveillance when it's so easily fabricated these days. I think there's a much more fiscally responsible way to invest in public safety, which includes hiring human police officers of this community. I think that's a much safer route to accomplish the same goal that these cameras intend. Regarding the automated license plate readers, I would prefer something that actually just removes these. I don't think it makes us safer, but I do support the bill so far. I also look forward to seeing how it evolves in the committee process. But again, this is a mass surveillance technology, and what exactly is the intention of being able to know where all of our cars are going at all times? It's an island, so it's not like people are going to cross state lines in their vehicles. And so I just don't understand what the purpose of this is. And really everyone's priority should be rebuilding trust in government and trust in the police. And this type of technology has the reverse effect. And so I really want to thank Member Paulton for introducing these and starting the conversation in a productive way of how we can use technology like this in the ways that suit us and reject it in the ways that don't. And I also want to reference kind of the ACLU's stance on this type of technology. I don't think that it is, I don't think it's making me feel safer. It makes me feel like we should all be hiding in our houses and people are buying things to cover their license plates and things to protect themselves from the type of technology. And that's not how we want people to feel about the entities that we pay to protect us. We shouldn't be trying to protect ourselves from the people who are hired to protect us. And I think that we have the capabilities to invest in our police and public safety in a way that's actually going to benefit us and rebuild some of that trust and the relationship between the community and the police, especially when it comes to things that have been referenced, ICE tracking people down and even just humans having access to this kind of technology is very scary. We don't in general, even if you trust the police wholeheartedly, there's going to be people who misuse technology. There's going to be hackers that have access to this technology. And so the more that this council can build in legislation to protect us from that type of activity, the better. So I support the bills, and I hope that we can add more things into it to add more of these protections that people are asking for, or even regulations to prevent more of them being installed without council approval. Because I think that was one of the things that shocked me the most was I watch you guys all the time. I hadn't seen anything about this, and here they are. I now see them like on most of the telephone poles when I'm driving around. And it's just kind of a thing that removes trust that we're trying to build. So thank you, Member Paulton, for introducing these and starting this conversation. Mahalo.
Member Paulton?
Just checking in if you had specific suggestions for amendment.
Not at this time, but I will by the time it's in committee.
Okay, thank you.
More questions or comments? If not, thank you. Ms. Clerk?
Mahalo again.
Chair, there's currently no one else signed to testify at the beginning of the meeting, so this is last call. Oh, we just have Royal Kingdom sign in.
Okay.
Sister, that's not the name that I signed up on, girl, okay? So you gotta say the whole name next time. Okay, the royal patent, the land's gotta be returned, yeah.
Can you speak louder, please? We can't hear you.
Oh, you know can hear? Now you can hear?
No.
Oh, still shady. Okay, how about now? No can. Oh my god. Still shady. Okay, how about now?
Yes.
Okay, now she go. Okay, I'm gonna speak on 112 and 1.
Okay, now again, we can't hear you.
Oh, hello? No can.
No.
It's really, really soft.
Oh my god. Somebody said messing up my stuff, Dad. Okay, how about now? Is it soft still?
Okay, when you say how about now, we can hear you, and then we can't hear you after that.
Oh my god. Okay.
Chair, online, he's coming in just fine. Maybe it's in the chambers, but I don't know. Online, I can hear him just fine.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll be speaking on 112 and 113. So nobody knew that there was all of this kind of surveillance going on, and now they have it inside of the council, brought to the council, right? And any mass surveillance or any kind of surveillance period in a general, any kind, without one's permission that is being surveillanced on, without their consent, wouldn't that be considered illegal? Since it's illegal, right, to be surveilling someone without any of their consent, wouldn't that been illegal for using these technologies already that has been used recently, like in the those cameras and the facial recognition, whatever. And yeah, I wouldn't approve this. I don't approve this. That's illegal to be surveilling somebody without their consent. And yeah, period, point blank. That's it.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions, members? If not, thank you very much.
Chair, there's currently no one else signed up to testify, so this is last call. If there is anyone who would like to testify, you can raise your hand in Teams or make your way to the podium. You can come on down.
Hi, I'm Jerry Clappert. I appreciate being here, and I just wanted to let you know
Well, I sort of wanted to get it out there that, you know, they're putting surveillance technology in new cars, facial recognition. So all new cars are supposed to be equipped from the year 2027 with technology that will recognize your facial, like if you look like you're drunk or if you look like you're not able to operate that vehicle, it will shut itself down. And this is, to me, this is a severe hazard. And it's very much a safety issue. And then I just have one other thing that I wanted to sort of express. I wanted to, probably everybody's heard this, but I wanted to quote Ben Franklin. He said, "Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." So that's what I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, members? No questions. Thank you.
Chair, that was currently the last testifier at the beginning of the meeting, so we'll give last call for anyone wishing to testify at the beginning of the meeting. Chair is seeing none, counting down 3, 2, 1. There's no one else to testify at the beginning of the meeting.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony and accepting written testimony at the beginning of the meeting? So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Moving on to testimony on the committee reports. Currently, we have no one signed up to testify on the committee report, so we'll give last call. Chair, counting down 3, 2, 1. No one testifying on committee reports.
Any objections to closing public testimony on committee reports and accepting written testimony? So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. From the Agriculture, Diversification, Environment, and Public Transportation Committee is Committee Report 26-59, recommending first reading of Bill 98, CD1 2026, to establish a new Chapter 22.03 Maui County Code to codify a food and nutrition security plan.
Member Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt the recommendations in Committee Report 26-59.
Moved by Member Johnson, seconded by Member Sinanci, to approve the recommendations in Committee Report 26-59. Discussion, Member Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. My volume is okay in the chambers? You guys can hear me?
Yes.
Great. Okay, thank you. Members, Bill 98, CD1 2026, would codify the Food and Nutrition Security Plan consistent with the Maui County General Plan's guidance, the Countywide Policy Plan, Maui Island Plan, Lanai Community Plan, and Molokai Island Community Plan all acknowledge the need to increase food security in the county. At ADEP's August 7th committee meeting last year, the committee received a presentation from the Department of Agriculture on the plan, which has recently been completed. To give the plan legislative weight to carry out this important plan's goals, I created Bill 98 to establish a new chapter in the Maui County Code. The framework is modeled on Chapter 20.44 Maui County Code related to the Climate Action and Resiliency Plan. Bill 98, CD1, would require the managing director with all necessary agencies to manage and assist with implementing and updating the plan. An online dashboard posted on the county's website must track progress of the plan's recommendations and be updated yearly. An updated plan must be submitted to the council for approval every 5 years. The managing director and the directors of agriculture and OEB resources expressed support for Bill 98 CD1, and your committee voted 6-0 to recommend approval. In this time of affordability, we often say that rent eats first, and we have to find a way to make our community stay healthy by eating healthy, and I think coming up with a plan is really important. So I respect the members' full support of my motion. Thank you so much, Chair.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Say aye. Okay. 9 ayes, 0 noes. Motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Chair.
Mahalo, members.
Thank you, Chair. From the Budget, Finance, and Economic Development Committee is Committee Report 26-60, recommending adoption of Resolution 26-116, CD1, to authorize the acquisition of water system assets with the associated easement rights from Launiopoko Water Company, Inc. and Olowalu Water Company, Inc. for up to $6 million.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
I move to adopt the recommendations in Committee Report 26-60.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Cook, to approve the Committee Report 26-60 26-60 recommendations. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. Members, Resolution 26-116 CD1 would authorize the county to acquire the Laniapoko and Oluwalu water system assets for up to $6 million, exclusive of closing costs and expenses. Your committee voted 7-1 to recommend adoption. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion, Chair, and I would like to say that this bill, what it does is presents what the source is. There's more that we need to look at for a complete look at the purchase, because complete water systems also involve source, transmission, storage, funding, and administration. So we have part of the story, but not all. Thank you.
Any more discussion? I'll be asking for roll call because I'm going to vote no. Member Paulton.
I was wondering if Member Sugimura could clarify what she was saying.
Yeah. So the water
Vice Chair.
Yeah, just that the water systems that are being proposed is a portion of the story, which I support, because we are looking at more water sources. And a complete water system would involve transmission, storage, funding, and administration. So those are the total package of what a water system would be once acquired. That's all I was saying, my opinion.
And that's precisely why I'm voting no. Anybody else? Discussion?
This one has transmission. The one that we're voting on today.
Well, my concern overall.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're talking about the MLP one, that doesn't have transmission. But what we're voting on today has transmission.
Okay.
Can we
My main
that?
concern is not that,
no,
but you're
I'm
asking
saying,
her for
yeah, if we can
Vice Chair
confirm this,
for
'cause
your
that's what
clarification.
I was voting on is it had transmission.
Yeah. Okay. Vice Chair Sugimura, the statement you made about the portion that we're not buying, could you clarify explain what you're saying?
My statement is just in general as a part of this council, but in terms of understanding what a full water system would require. And so I'm just making a statement that this is, part of the story and that there's more to come. And I'm open to hearing more to come.
Member Paulton.
Can we get clarification from somebody that what we're voting on today includes transmission?
Well,
Somebody that knows.
we're going to have to probably take a little recess and then ask someone from Department of Water Supply
That's fine.
to join. Okay, members, you want to take a recess?
Sure.
Okay. David, would you be able to call the Water Department? And then in the meantime,
Chair.
we may as well take an 8-minute recess to 10:30.
Okay.
Chair.
Yes?
Mahalo, Chair. So on July 27th, we had this in Member Cook's meeting in the VI committee, Resolution 26-116, and we have the presentation which outlines all the assets that we would be acquiring, including all the transmission and the cost of operation. So I think it's irresponsible to just make statements without having, when there's evidence of your statement being wrong, you cannot just make statements like that as a council member, especially when the information that you're saying is countered on the slides. It has the information on the cost of operations, on the cost of all the assets. It's right there on the presentation. But I'm supportive of taking a break. I'm supportive of bringing Department of Water Supply representatives here to correct the wildly inaccurate statements by Member Sugimura. Mahalo, Chair.
Okay, and then when we do return, I want to caution you to discuss only what your point of view is. If you disagree with somebody, so be it, okay? That person is entitled to her opinion, you're entitled to your opinion, and we can go on all day, but we don't need to Oh, we have.
there we go.
Do we need a recess? We have the Deputy Water Director here.
Aloha, Deputy
Okay,
Director.
okay, if you don't mind, why don't we ask him right now instead of taking a recess?
Come join us down on the floor.
You can sit
Chair, I
by-
mean, it's fine to have opinions, but when you're making statements on like facts that can be proven otherwise, like opinions on your values is one thing, but like whether there's a cost for operations and then you're saying that there isn't, it's not an opinion. There's the information, right? Yes, Member Cook. I just wanted to be able to state my piece, if you don't mind. Mahalo.
I wanted clarification because what we're voting on was the opposite of what Member Sugimura's remarks of what we're
Okay.
voting on. So I just wanted clarification.
Yeah, that's fine. Clarification is fine, but let's not debate at this point. Deputy. So you heard what was the question?
Sort of, but can you clarify one more time?
So I'm recommending that this committee report be approved. And I just made a statement that a complete system, water system, it could be Oluwalu, Laniapoko, EMI, Maui Lanapine, whatever it is, the elements of it are source, which this is, transmission, storage, funding, and the operations, right, administration. So that's just a complete picture. And I just
So my
made that statement.
clarification was that's what we're voting on. This Oluwalu deal includes transmission, the funding, the revenue, and cost of operations. That's what we're
Right,
voting
so,
on. Like we're
so
not
we're
just
voting on
buying
the
source.
Lanipoku Water.
And
Well, it's just the assets, yes, not the company.
Yes,
So it's the assets of Lanipoku Water
which
Company.
includes transmission.
Yeah, so it's the wells, the transmission line, and the storage tanks. That's for Lanipoku. Oluwalu is both, right? Because we have also the irrigation side. So besides the well, the storage tank, and the transmission line on the potable, we have reservoirs, water line, and booster pumps on the irrigation side. The funding, I think, is already, we do have the funding in the account. It's just to do the purchase, water acquisition,
This is only
right?
about purchase.
We do know basically what the operating costs are. We presented it the last time. So we kind of know that we're not going to be losing money based on what our rates are. The last
Thank you.
thing
That was the clarification I was looking for because this is what we're voting on, and the
that's
statement
what-
that was made.
That's what I believe.
Yeah,
right,
the
from
statement that
your
was made
previous.
before we're voting on it says that this is what is needed, and my understanding is that is what we're voting on. So I don't know if she was talking about other systems, but I'm focused on what we're voting on today.
Right, and so as far as operations, we have gone over the operations with the current owners. We do know how they operate the system. We have had several meetings with them on operations and with our operations staff, so we do understand how it operates. And we will transition, there's a transition period, I think it's 6 months. We will continue, we'll be trained, we will bring on the extra employees, so that all is in transition. Sorry if I'm out of breath, I shouldn't have ran up the stairs.
We appreciate you. So I understand that, and it was presented. I'm just saying that there's more information that we need, the total picture of this purchase. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, just, yeah, what other information?
So once we go through the 6-month due diligence period, we're going to find out what the impacts would be to the County of Maui for the total administrative costs, because right now, we don't know all the details until we do that.
Well, I would say we're not have a perfect number, but we kind of know we will be okay. Yeah, we kind of looked at based on what they did. We based on 2 months. We see what we'll get our revenue, what our operations cost are. We kind of know what that is. I mean, will there be an adjusted? Maybe, but I mean, we're pretty confident in what is going to happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, my concerns, Deputy, is operationally, yeah. Do we have the people in the department now to operate that system?
We do. So We can cover what happens in the system with all the staff we have now. We want to add additional people so that we just have a little bit, in case something happens there, we can send someone there to stay there and work on it while we operate our other parts of the systems, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
that's
the people that
something that I recently found out in the last couple of days. I was told that we didn't have enough personnel within the department currently to take over that system. So that's one concern I had. The other concern is, generally speaking, why would the Launiopoko Olowalu owner, a water system owner, want to sell if it's a profitable, enterprise?
Okay, well, on their side, I don't know what is on their side, right? But as far as our side, we do have those 10 unfunded positions that we did create, that we plan to hire probably right at the beginning of next year. And those positions that we created are similar to positions we already have in the department. We just need a more personnel because we will be taking on a little bit more work.
Okay, yeah, so you are saying we don't currently have people ready to take over the system, but you will have in 6 months.
By the time we transition and the system becomes ours, we will have the
Yeah,
personnel.
so that's a difference, when during the discussion, I thought that the department, you folks, said that you had the personnel to take over the system now, but what you meant was you will have in the next 6 months.
Yes, but if we need to do something in the system, we can go and, send people there to do stuff. Because when you're in the system, it's not like a 24-hour thing that you need to stay there, right? You do the checks, the system operates, we watch it on the SCADA, we see what's going on. If there's a line break, yeah, we send somebody from our construction crew that we would send to any system that has something happen. Right?
I did hear also about the possibility of, I think it was inadequate pumps, but, I'm voting no anyway, but anybody else? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair Lee. Okay, so we approved the 10 EPs in this budget, and that's in anticipation of the acquisition of these systems. We wouldn't fill those positions until we get the systems, because then we're going to fill the positions to manage a system that we don't have yet. So that makes no sense as far as timing goes. We wouldn't do that. We would acquire the system, and then we would fill the positions to manage those systems. Is that the right order?
Yes. So we do have funding in FY27 for 6 months of the position. So that's why we're looking at the beginning of next year. And by that time, we would know that we're acquiring the system, right? It will be in process, so we would know that
You need
what
our
to
approval.
expect. Right, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's not guaranteed.
No.
Exactly. so we're not going to jump the gun. We're going to wait.
Right, we don't want to hire people that we don't necessarily need until we
Right.
know we're going to need them. Right?
That's the fiscally responsible thing to do, for sure. Okay, and then for the systems, Member Sugimura was talking about source, and source is the wells.
Correct.
Correct. Okay, and we have Launiopoko Well 1, Well 2, Well 3, and these are all on slide 9, Member Sugimura, for your reference. And then she also mentioned storage tanks and transmission lines. And so on slide 10, you'll see Launiopoko Tank 1, Tank 2, booster pumps with 2 booster pumps. So all the infrastructure, the storage is here. For the Olowalu system, there's Well 1, there's Tank 1, there's Tank 2, there's a booster pump, mid-level booster pump, another booster pump. So it's all the infrastructure. There's different stations, and again, all of this is available publicly for anyone to look at, including the council members. There's the ditch system, the intake for Olowalu's irrigation system. There's the 2 reservoirs, so affectionately named or called Snake and Pig. So these are also storage. So this is all the information, again, all available that we talked about in Member Cook's committee. We have the projected amount that it would cost us to operate each of the 3 systems and the projected revenue based on what is currently used. Is that
Correct.
is that facts that you gave us?
That was on the slides from.
All right, these are not my opinions. These are the facts that you provided us, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And so my opinion is that we should acquire this system. That's my opinion. Because I heard from the community on the west side that this is what they want, and I represent the people and not corporations. And so I'm gonna support what my community, what my voters are telling me to do, and I appreciate the department for doing this work and providing us all this information to make us feel confident in acquiring the system, which is in the best interest of our people. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Any more comments from other people? Roll call.
Thank you, Chair. And Councilmember Sinensi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hodgins?
Aye.
Councilmember Cook?
Aye.
Councilmember Rollins Fernandez?
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Paulton?
Aye.
Vice Chair Sugimura?
Aye.
Councilmember Batangan?
Aye.
Chair Lee?
No.
Chair, 8 ayes, 1 no, motion carries.
Okay. Okay, shall we continue, Ms. Clerk?
Sure. Chair from the Budget, Finance, and Economic Development Committee is Committee Report 26-61, recommending first reading of Bill 101 CD1 2026 to update taxicab baggage and equipment charges by 1, increasing the driver handling charge from 50 cents to $1 per piece per trip, 2, expanding the list of items subject to the $10 charge to include oversized baggage, golf club bags, and items weighing 50 pounds or more, and 3, adding definitions for large pet crate and oversized baggage.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. I move to adopt recommendations in Committee Report 26-61.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Cook, to approve Committee Report 2661 and its recommendations. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
Bill 101 CD1 would update taxicab baggage and equipment to charges by increasing the standard charge from 50 cents to $1 per piece per trip and applying a $10 charge to certain transported items. These items include oversized baggage, golf club bags, and items weighing 50 pounds or more. Your committee voted 8-0 to recommend passage on first reading. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries.
Thank you, members.
Ms. Clerk.
Chair from the Government Relations, Ethics, and Transparency Committee is Committee Report 26-63, recommending adoption of Resolution 26-81 CD1, authorizing settlement of Charlotte Martin v. County of Maui et al. Civil 2 CCV 24-0000903.
Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt the recommendations in Committee Report 2663.
Moved by Member Batangan, seconded by Member Hodgins, to approve the recommendations in Committee Report 2663. Discussion, Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. At its meeting on August 4th, 2026, your great committee met to discuss Resolution 2681 regarding legal proceedings in Charlotte Martin versus County of Maui et al. Resolution 2681 CD1 authorizes settling this lawsuit under the terms discussed in executive session to avoid incurring expenses and the uncertainty of a judicial determination. Your committee voted 7-0 to recommend adoption of Resolution 2681 CD1. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand. Say aye. 9 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Committee Report 26 from the Government Relations, Ethics, and Transparency Committee is Committee Report 26-64, recommending adoption of Resolution 26-122, authorizing settlement of Bao Ngoc Tran v. County of Maui et al. 2 CCV 24-0000844.
Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt the recommendations in Committee Report 2664.
Moved by Member Batangan, seconded by Member Uhajans, to approve the recommendations in Committee Report 2664. Discussion, Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. At its meeting of August 4th, 2026, your great committee met to discuss Resolution 26-122 regarding legal proceedings in Bao Ngoc Tran versus County of Maui et al. Resolution 26-122 authorizes settling this lawsuit under the terms discussed in executive session to avoid further litigation expenses and risks. Your committee voted 7-0 to recommend adoption of Resolution 26-122. I respectfully ask for the member's support on my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Say aye. 9 ayes, 0 noes. Motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, at this time, we're moving on to resolutions, and anyone who would like to testify on resolutions can do so at this time. There is no one signed up to testify, so this is last call. And the countdown is 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one indicating a desire to testify.
Any objections to closing public testimony and accepting written testimony on resolutions? So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Resolution 26-133, authorizing settlement of Hawaii Firefighters Association Local 1463 IAFF-AFL-CIO versus Josh Green et al., Hawaii Labor Relations Board Case 26-CE-11997, and Josh Green et al. Versus Hawaii Firefighters Association Local 1463 IAFF-AFL-CIO, Hawaii Labor Relations Board Case 26-CU-11417.
Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. I move to discharge the Government Relations, Ethics, and Transparency Committee from further consideration of Resolution 26-133.
Okay. Second. Moved by Member Batangan, seconded by Member Cook to discharge the committee of this item. Discussion?
Thank you, Chair. The Great Committee considered this resolution on August 18, 2026, and voted to recommend adoption. Discharging the committee lets the Council act on Resolution 26-133 today. This action removes the need to post a separate committee report under Rule 3 on a future agenda.
Any more discussion? Yes, Member Uhajans.
Just for the record, I'm going to be recusing myself.
Okay. Didn't you second that motion? No, well, Mr. Cook did. Okay. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Okay, 8 ayes, 0 noes, 1 excused or recused. Motion carries. The motion to adopt,
Chair.
Member Batang. Yes?
Oh.
Who said chair?
I'm sorry, Chair. I didn't mean to interrupt. But when we're done with this, can we take a 5-minute bio break? Or you can keep going, but I want to leave after this one for a 5-minute break.
Okay, because we just have bills after this and we're done. Okay, Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt Resolution 26-133.
Wait.
Moved by Member Batangan, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to approve the resolution recommendations in 26-133. Discussion.
Thank you, Chair. Resolution 26-133 authorizes settling the Consolidated Hawaii Labor Relations Board cases involving the Hawaii Firefighters Association, Local 1463, and the employers group under the terms discussed in executive session. Adopting the resolution today completes the council action on this item, so no committee report is needed. I respectfully ask for the members' support of the motion.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. 8 ayes, 0 noes, 1 recused. Motion passes. Okay, members, do you need more than 5 minutes? Because we're on a roll. We just have this and then bills and we're done. 5?
Chair,
What is that? Okay, so 5, right? To 4, 10:47. Okay. Meeting in recess. Will the council meeting of August 25th, 2026 please reconvene? Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Resolution 26-139, referring to the Maui Planning Commission proposed bills to amend the West Maui Community Plan and change the zoning conditional zoning for property in Lahaina, Hawaii, identified as tax map key 246-027022 Mill Street Commercial Project.
Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt Resolution 26-139.
Moved by Member Paulton, seconded by Member Hodgins to adopt Resolution 26-139. Discussion, Member Paulton.
Thank you. I've been working with Kimo Clark on this project for a while. It's, not in the SMA, close to residential neighborhoods for their purposes. It would refer two proposed bills to the Maui Planning Commission. A proposed bill to amend the West Maui Community Plan land use designation for a 0.95 acre portion of tax map key paren 4-6-027:022 on Lahaina from residential to transit-oriented corridor so that the entire 1.725 acre parcel is transit-oriented corridor. A proposed bill to change the zoning of the property from agricultural and M2 heavy industrial to M1 light industrial. So it's kind of just trying to make the parcel one community plan designation and one zoning designation from various things that are cut in between of it. The property owner, Kimo Clark, is proposing various commercial uses on the property and intends to prioritize local businesses that were impacted by the August 2023 Maui wildfires. Some of the businesses that we talked about were like, Anytime Fitness that we used to have before, or Choice Restaurant that we used to have before in Lahaina. The Maui Island Plan and West Maui Community Plan identified this as a planned growth area and area of change respectively. The property is situated in the central Lahaina area, an area of change envisioned as a compact transit-oriented corridor with a mix of higher density commercial employment and residential uses with pedestrian-friendly activity centers and vibrant street life. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? Member Cook.
I'm super supportive of this and grateful to Member Paulton for working with the business community in her district. This is the kind of thing that when the council works with our business community and we get stuff done, I think this is awesome, and I'm stoked to vote yes. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Vice Chair Sugimura.
Grateful to Member Paulton for working with Mr. Clark, and I look forward to seeing their accomplishments because Lahaina needs commercial so badly. Thank you very much, Member Paulton.
Anybody else? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
I don't see. Oh, I see him. 9 ayes, 0 noes. Motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Resolution 26-140, authorizing the acceptance of the property set aside by the Governor of the State of Hawaii by Executive Order 4747, located at tax map key 238007104, Kahului, Maui, and containing an area of 64.809 acres for public park and ancillary purposes under Section 3.44.015D, Maui County Code.
Mr. Senensi.
Mahalo, Chair. Move to adopt Resolution 26-140.
Moved by Member Senensi, seconded by Member Cook, to adopt Resolution 26-140. Discussion, Member Senensi.
Mahalo, Chair. This resolution would authorize acceptance of the real property set aside for public park and ancillary purposes by the Governor under Executive Order 4747. The county already constructed the Central Maui Sports Complex on the property in anticipation of this executive order, and acceptance of the property is a formality. The Director of Parks and Recreation reviewed the executive order and recommends acceptance of the property. The resolution is approved as to form and legality by the Department of Corporation Counsel, and members taking action today will fulfill the subsection 3.44.015 parent D under Maui County Code, a requirement for the council to authorize the acceptance of this property. And so doing so now will prevent further delay, and I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Resolution 26-143, appointing Adam Joseph Buchler to the Housing Advisory Board for the County of Maui, and he is online, Chair.
Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt Resolution 26-143.
Second.
Moved by Member Batangan, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura, to adopt Resolution 26-143. Discussion, Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. Members, Resolution 26-143 would appoint Adam Joseph Buchler to the Housing Advisory Board for a term expiring March 31st, 2028. Mr. Buchler is the founder of an economics and data consultancy and currently serves as an economic development specialist with the county. His background in financial planning and data analysis will be a great asset to the board. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion. Thank you, Chair.
Any more discussion? Member Paulton.
Oh, I just was wondering if Mr. Buchler wanted to, if we were going to get a chance to meet him, or if he had any few words.
Okay. Mr. Buchler, are you online? Mr. Buchler?
Hello, good morning. I am here. Nice to meet everybody.
Maybe you'd like to say a few words about yourself?
Sure. I think what I would just like to say here is that I really believe that good things happen when people show up and try and help. So when I saw some, vacancies, I thought I'd raise my hand and try and put myself forward to hopefully make things better here in my home.
So did you get this information from our press release?
He works for the county.
I think somebody shared it with me, if I remember correctly, that people were looking for help filling these vacancies.
Okay. Okay, because we did get a pretty good response from our press release. I thought maybe that's how you found out. Any more discussion? Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Buchler, for your willingness to serve. I just was wondering, do you foresee any conflicts of interest in serving on this housing board? I saw that you work for the county as well as was the founder and principal of Buchler Pacific LLC. So just wondering about if there would be any conflicts of interest.
Mr. Buchler?
I think that's a very good question. I think it's a great question and something that I'm aware of, and certainly not trying to create any conflicts. My intention here is not to further myself or my business. It's truly to raise my hand and try and offer my help. So it's not a place or an appropriate thing for me to put myself or my business forward here. It's really to hopefully offer my analytical skills and my economics background to apply, to these problems that come up. So if there is anything that seems like a conflict, I'm happy to bow out or seek outside help and make sure that there is no conflict, because no, I don't want to create anything here.
Thank you.
Member Rollins Fernandez?
Mahalo, Chair. Okay, so my first question is for you. I see your name signed as introduced by without it being on behalf of another party. So was it you that introduced this resolution? Are you nominating him?
Not exactly. I mean, I am, but technically. But it's not like I knew him. He responded, I thought, to our press release.
Yeah, okay. That was it. I was just wondering if, it was you who brought his name forward. Aloha, Mr. Buchler. Mahalo for, stepping forward and offering your services to serve on the advisory board, the Housing Advisory Board. I think I'm going to try to ask a similar question to Member Paulton in a way that may perhaps elicit a different type of response. What I heard my colleague ask was just like if there could potentially be any parties that you've worked with previously that if you're part of the Housing Advisory Board, if then they come up, would you need to recuse yourself? Not that you would be advancing, the financial standing of your own company, but just it's a small island, and oftentimes there's a lot of overlap. And if you've already worked with some of the different companies or firms that may be discussed on the Housing Advisory Board, which would cause you to have to recuse yourself, then perhaps you wouldn't be able to participate as much as you would like to.
That's absolutely fair. And again, my intent is not to create any conflicts. And
did you work with people, companies or firms that may cause you to have to, it already happened? Did you already do it?
Yes, I had previously done some work with Alpha Inc. Yes, if that's where you're headed with this. But I'm not doing any work with them any longer. There's no
only Alpha
for.
I mean, you don't have to name them all.
For local clients.
I'm just trying to ascertain whether the projects that would come before you and advising the director or the housing department would require you to have to recuse yourself half the time, because if that would be the situation, then perhaps this committee advisory board wouldn't be the best fit, and perhaps your second choice of Board of Water Supply would be a better choice. You know what I mean? And then you wouldn't have to recuse yourself.
Absolutely fair. No. That's absolutely fair. And if that is deemed to be, a real potential and likely point of recusal a lot, then I'm happy to go with a second choice or anything, or help with the water board again. Truly, my intent was to raise my hand and help. And if you think that's a better fit for me, I'm comfortable with that too. And just, looking to volunteer.
I'm happy to support you on this. I was just trying to get information to help me be more informed on whether we both should, proceed in this direction, or perhaps a better direction would be your second choice. I don't have, Chair, any problems supporting this right now. Perhaps like other potential, or after they become a board member or commissioner, they can go to the Board of Ethics just to share if there could be any conflicts on things. And then, he can let us know if there are a lot and if he would be better placed in the Board of Water Supply or something. Mahalo, Chair.
Okay.
And mahalo again, Mr. Buechler, for stepping forward.
So you're recommending that should Mr. Buechler be approved today, that he voluntarily get a Board of Ethics opinion? So you don't mind that, Mr. Buechler, do you?
No.
Okay.
Happy to do whatever's needed here. Again, just trying to help.
Okay, thank you. By the way, how do you pronounce your name?
It's Buechler, but it certainly looks like Buechler.
Okay. We would never have guessed. Okay.
No, that's okay. People start with it. I'm like, yep, that's me. No worries.
Is the U, so the U is silent?
So without going into a big deal, I think it's supposed to be very German and supposed to be a U with an umlaut and Buechler. Yeah.
And then Americanized it as Buechler. Got it.
Probably, yes.
Mahalo, Chair.
Okay, any more questions? All right, all those in favor of the motion, Raise your hand, say aye. 9 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Ms. Clerk. Thank you, Mr. Beekler.
Thank you.
Chair, before you is Resolution 26-144, appointing Dorothy Tolliver to the Commission on Persons with Disabilities for the County of Maui, and Chair Ms. Tolliver is present.
Okay, I'm going to let Mr. Rotz explain this one. Mr. Rotz.
Thank you, Chair. We would suggest that the body consider bringing up the next resolution on the agenda as well. We do have 2 applicants, so there's 2 resolutions to fill 1 vacancy for this particular commission, so the council can decide which resolution to adopt, and perhaps if the applicants are available, could interview them while both resolutions are on the table. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, my understanding is that the INB did not advance a nominee, and neither did the mayor. So we have 30 days to pick one, and 2 people made themselves available. So, and there are, I believe, 2 here today, right? Can you raise your hand? Yeah, 2 here today. So if you don't mind, we could listen to both of them. Yeah? So let's take up, yeah?
We can only choose one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not.
We can ask them if they have a second choice. And then we also still need to bring up the second resolution.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say before she.
Okay.
Could you bring up the second resolution?
Yes, Chair. Before you is Resolution 26-145, appointing Christina Sherry McCusker to the Commission on Persons with Disabilities for the County of Maui.
It just so happened we had 2. No. So if we could have both of you, the first one, call her up, please.
Chair, the first, under the first resolution, we have Dorothy Tolliver.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Okay, my name is Dorothy Tolliver, and as you can tell, I'm handicapped, which is one of the reasons that I applied for representation on this commission, because I feel it's very important that people that are handicapped are represented, and that the commission takes into account our life stories and the fact of the problems that we have that I know firsthand. Also, previously, I was vice chair of this disability commission many years ago under Linda Legal, and I served on that commission for disabilities. I currently serve on other boards. I'm a board member for the National Association of the Blind, Maui chapter, because I also have a vision disability in addition to my physical disability. I also serve as a board member and parliamentarian for the American Association of University Women. I'm a board member and past president of the Maui Friends of the Library. I'm currently emeritus professor at the University of Hawaii, Maui College. I was the head of the library there, library director. I have served on numerous boards, so I do have board experience. And I have received 2 awards from the state, 1 award from the state, and 1 award from the Maui News for a prominent senior citizen. That was when I helped bring the bookmobile to Maui County. I have served on other county commissions, the Commission for the Women, and was the head of a women's conference for Maui County. So I do bring some Maui County experience, an experience from having served on this committee before, as well as the experience of one who is disabled and has already had people calling me saying, if you get this, this is what we want you to bring up to the committee. So I'm also an actor, and I have acted on stage for MAPA and Maui on Stage for Rita's Theater. So even though I'm a little nervous now because I wasn't prepared, I can do things publicly. Do you have any questions for me?
Members, do you have any questions? Member Paulton.
Was this your only choice of board?
This was the only choice of board that I saw.
And then if you weren't selected today, I think that there's openings coming up in March, 3 of them on the same board. Would you be willing to apply to the independent nomination board for the 3 openings on this same board that come up in March?
Oh, the same disability board? Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions?
You don't have any, when the meetings are and you don't have any time conflicts or anything like that?
No, not really, because I'm retired.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Ms. Tolliver, did you, what year did you chair the women's conference?
I have that on my resume.
Oh.
I chaired it twice. It was during the time that Linga was mayor.
Mhm. Terrific. I chaired it twice also before
good.
that, yeah. Okay, any more questions?
I have your answer. The 15th and 17th Women's Conference. It doesn't have the year, it just has the anniversary of it. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much. Appreciate you waiting for your turn. And do we have Vice Chair Sugimura has a question.
Thank you very much. So
And Gabe.
appreciate your statement that you already have people contacting you that if you were selected, that they want you to bring up certain things of interest, because we know on this body by seeing the disability or the blind members that appear at functions, it is really a lot for them to get there and appreciate their voice. So I value that you're talking to them, because I think they may be forgotten if they don't have that. So appreciate you a lot.
Thank you.
And then Member Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. So my question is, Ms. Tolliver, is first off, thank you for all the work that you do. And I too sat on this Commission for Americans with Disabilities, and it's where I kind of got started and trying to help folks. You said, and Councilmember Sugimura mentioned it, that you had folks already talking to you about what kind of priorities you should be having when you're on the board. So can you share with us, what do you think you're going to do when you hit the ground running? What is some of those things?
Well, first I'm going to meet everybody. And then basically, I assume that the committee has matters that they are already considering. So it'd be a matter of listening as to what it is that they are bringing up, and then adding my input, and then bringing up my concerns, or the people that have trusted me with their concerns. I envision working together harmoniously, because we all have one goal, and that's to help the handicapped.
Yeah.
So we will assist each other.
Okay, great. Thank you for your response. Thank you, Chair. No further questions.
Any more questions? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you for considering me.
Thank you. Shane, can you please help her? And the next person?
Chair, the next candidate is Christina Sherry McCusker.
Good morning, everyone. Aloha.
Hi. Could you speak closer to the mic and then state your name, please?
Hi, my name is Christina McCusker. I'm the program coordinator of Goodwill Hawaii Career Services here in Maui. I oversee Lanai and Molokai. I am here today representing the people just like myself and Ms. Tolliver that have disabilities that are looking for change, looking for someone to advocate for them, looking for that voice that has not yet been heard. For people with visible, non-visible disabilities that need someone to advocate and be there for them in our community. I'm not from here. I am originally from the mainland. I am a resident of, excuse me, I'm so sorry, I'm so nervous. I'm new here and I'm learning. I can say that this will be a learning experience for me. I'm here to learn all that I can from everyone that I can, to be that voice and to speak for those that may need to be heard.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for volunteering. All right, members, questions? Member Paulton.
Thank you. I did see you reside in Lahaina.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and that's currently not represented on the board, so I would be supporting you, but I don't know if you're going to get all the votes you need, and so I was wondering if you aren't selected today, if you would be willing to submit to the independent nomination board?
At this time, I am not. I feel that this is where my passion lies.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I said that wrong. The independent nomination board selects for the Commission on Persons with Disabilities, and there's a number of vacancies coming up in March of this year. Like today, we can only choose for one, but there's more vacancies coming up. And if you don't get the votes today, would you resubmit for the vacancy on this same board coming up in March?
Oh, in March, I would definitely love to be a part of it. Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much. That was my question.
Anyone else? If not, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ms. Clerk, could you bring them up again, the two items?
All right, Chair, before you are the following resolutions. First, Resolution 26-144, appointing Dorothy Tolliver to the Commission on Persons with Disabilities for the County of Maui. And second, Resolution 26-145, appointing Christina Sherry McCusker to the Commission on Persons with Disabilities for the County of Maui.
Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt resolutions 26-144 and 26-145 to place both appointments before the council for consideration.
Move that. Member Batangan, seconded by Member Sinensi, to adopt resolutions 26-144 and 26-145, to put those two resolutions before the council's consideration. Discussion, Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Tolliver previously served as Vice Chair of the Commission and brings extensive community advocacy experience and personal insight into the accessibility needs of persons with disabilities. Ms. McCusker is a Program Coordinator at Goodwill Hawaii and a Certified Workforce Development Professional with a strong commitment to advocating accessibility and inclusion. I welcome the members' discussion on which resolution to adopt. After the members determine which appointment to approve, we will need to amend the motion to remove the other resolution. Thank you, Chair.
Member Paulton.
Thank you. I have hard time with this kind because I would like them both. But ultimately, I will be supporting Resolution 26-145, appointing Christina Sherry McCusker to the commission. Lahaina doesn't have representation currently, while Wailuku has 3 members. And I think it's important, especially to know not just what, I don't know what the word is, the general population is going through in Lahaina, but as well as the differently abled population in Lahaina, especially being represented. I take comfort in the fact that they both would apply if there was, as there will be a vacancy coming up for sure in March 31st, 2029. I read that this vacancy will be filled through 2030, if that's correct. And so I'll throw my support as they're both differently abled, because Lahaina isn't normal right now, with a lot of challenges for the community as a whole, which I imagine are more challenging for people with different abilities.
All right, anybody else? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. So the current makeup of the Mrs. Board has 3 representatives that reside in Wailuku. 2 of them term out next March, and then the one that resides in Kula will term out. So there'll be 3 positions that'll be open, and yeah, hopefully whoever isn't the one that fills the current vacancy, which is I think like a little over 4 years, if I did my math right, 2030, or a little over 3 years. Whatever. And while we don't currently have any Molokai residents on the board, 2 of the members are from Molokai. So I feel that they are, Molokai is represented by the 2 that are from Molokai, because then one of the reasons to have geographic representation is, one, to share, challenges and opportunities of the area that they reside, because they have to traverse the area, because in where they live. So they recognize in their geographic area the challenges that, can be improved. And 2, and this isn't like all-inclusive, but the 2 that I'm mentioning now, is that the people in that community will more likely know them and will more likely feel more comfortable to reach out to them to share some of the challenges, some of the things that could be improved. And so that's the information I have to share. I don't have a position on which resolution right now. Mahalo, Chair.
Member Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. I'm going to recommend supporting 26144, which is Dorothy Tolliver, because of her experience with the commission. And the part that I asked her about, which I think is important, is that she has connections within this community, which is a very specialized group, and it sounds like she has established relationships, which then brings a broader perspective for the needs of these disabled people. So I support her. I like that she's also has been in the acting community. She's a librarian, I think, is what she said, for UH Maui College. I think she has a book club. She has very interesting characteristics as well as talents that I think she'll bring to this commission. So nothing against the other party, but just with the depth of her existing relationships, I value that with this very special community. So thank you.
Anyone else? Are you making a motion? Well, at some point we have to make a motion,
I'll make
one way or the other.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to pass resolutions 26-144, which is Dorothy Tolliver for the Commission on.
Is anybody going to second that?
Chair, there was a motion made by members Batangan and seconded by member Sinensi to adopt both motions. So it would be proper.
So you would have to amend to remove the resolution that we want to file and then ask that they resubmit for the vacancy when it comes up.
Okay.
Okay,
After,
so we'll fix
the
it.
thing is, somebody else might make another motion. Yeah? So, okay. I guess the best thing to do in this case is to remove the other item.
Or Chair,
Yeah.
it would just be to file the other one. You
Well, not really,
Approve
because,
one
because
and
if this,
file the other.
if this motion loses, then we would have to,
Yeah, but if it loses, then it doesn't get filed. You know what I mean? Or you can do it however you want. You're the council chair. Go ahead.
That's right.
you guys are just, yeah, okay, thank you, I appreciate the suggestions. We're just trying to get through the one vote. Member Paulton?
Thank you. I move to file Resolution 26-144.
Okay, now you're making it more
Chair.
complicated. You know, we can't have a contradiction on the floor. We just got to take
Chair.
one at a time. Yes.
Chair, instead of all the procedural labyrinth that we're about to embark on, perhaps you can just have us you say the person's name and then we vote and then we see where the votes lie and then we make that motion and that's the motion that we're going to move forward with.
I was just about to say that.
I knew you were.
Mental telepathy. Okay,
Chair.
just so that we can move forward, yeah?
Sorry, just procedurally, we do have a motion on the floor to adopt both. So we can withdraw that motion and then proceed in a different fashion, or the
Okay,
motion
let's
can be
do that.
amended to remove one of
I
those
withdraw my
resolutions.
motion. Member Sedenti, would you withdraw your second?
Okay. All right. Now, all it is we take a vote on this one. If this fails, somebody else can make a motion
I
for the other
didn't
person.
withdraw my motion.
You did not withdraw your motion.
No.
But we only can take one motion at a time.
Yeah, they withdrew theirs, so mine's left.
No, hers is left.
No, she just said she withdrew.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that. Okay, so you are moving to file Resolution 26-144. All right, second? Okay, moved by Member Paulton, seconded by Member Sinanci, to file Resolution 26-144. Discussion.
Thank you. You know, Wailuku does have 3 experienced people on there. Both candidates did say that they were willing to reapply for the vacancies upcoming in March. And just Lahaina is not in its normal self right now, so I would ask for representation for Lahaina. Thank you.
Okay, any more discussion? Member Rollins-Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I can be supportive of this motion. And then I guess, okay. And then we'll see where the votes are, because then, okay, yeah. And I want to thank Ms. Tolliver for all her experience for decades of support, serving on all the different boards, commissions, and chairing the Women's Conference. As Member Paulton said, that there are 3 positions that are going, 3 people who term out next March. And I hope you reapply so that we can get your wealth of experience back onto the commission. Mahalo, Chair.
Okay, and just for everybody's information, to file means that we are not going to be approving your nomination. Okay, that's what it means. Anybody else? Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to thank both volunteers for stepping forward to offer their time and energy and mana'o to the community. You know, I've served on boards and commissions. I know how taxing it can be, but also how rewarding it can be. And so I just want to say thank you for stepping forward. And I really wish we could appoint both of you today. But since there's only one vacancy, you know, we have to move forward with just a single resolution. But I am encouraged to hear that there's vacancies coming up and that you know, you would both be willing to serve even if not appointed at this time. So I would encourage whoever is not selected today to put their name forth for the vacancies that are coming up in March. And Chair, I just disagreed with how complicated the motions had been. It seemed pretty straightforward to me, given the rules of our council and the need to deliberate both resolutions. I thought this was pretty straightforward. But thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And Ms. Tolliver, what he just said, I should have said. It was a much nicer way of saying that. Okay. Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I would rather support both, but if now we have to choose. So I understand that if we have 3 people from Wailuku, I'm happy to support the person from Lahaina and happy to support Ms. Tolliver, hopefully next year, if we are still sitting here today, rather than. It is unfortunate we had 2 very qualified applicants for 1 seat on this board, but look forward to supporting both of them again, and hopefully Ms. Tolliver in March. Thank you.
Just a quick point of information, Chair. Not from Lahaina, reside in Lahaina. Yeah, mahalo, Chair.
Chair Member Johnson has his hand up.
What, Member Sinensi, you had your hand up too? Member Johnson has his hand up. Okay, Member Johnson.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Chair. Well, first off, I want to thank, and I want to echo the sentiments of my fellow councilors. It's unusual that we have so many people applying for these seats. We're trying to find seats or find people to fill these seats. So first off, thank you guys for your willingness to serve. I support the idea of making that the commission whole again with West Maui representation. And that's why I'll support the motion on the floor. It has no reflection on the amazing work that Ms. Tolliver has done. I totally would love for her to be cloned and her be on many commissions. And that's the kind of high Genki spirit that we need in our community. So thank you so much for that. I'll just finally say the commission itself, it holds a special place in my heart. I still walk by the sidewalk that I advocated for, that when I sat on the commissions for Americans with Disabilities, that got put in because I was yelling and screaming and shaking the tree so the fruit will fall. The little handicap stall that we got put in, I see it every day, and I know that that's the work that we did on that commission. So this commission is very, very, it does important work, and I know there's so much you guys can discuss, but when it does happen, when the things do get put in, it's so rewarding. So I just want to thank you guys for doing that, and that takes me to the end. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Member Sinensi, did you want to say something?
Yeah, thank you. I can support Ms. McCusker at this time with the intent that I'll also support, should I be here next year, Ms. Tolliver. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. These are the kinds of decisions we don't like to make when we have to pick between 2 very excellent nominees. And but it is true that we do seem to be overrepresented with Wailuku at the present time. So that's a major consideration. Nothing personal at all. Members, any more comments? Ready for the vote? Do we need roll call? Vice Chair Sugimura.
Yeah, thank you. So I asked her a question, Ms. Tolliver questions, and I support her work and it's really important, the connection that she already has with this community. So I'm gonna be voting against that, I guess, and I guess everybody else will, take its course. So thank you.
Okay, before I ask for a roll call, I just wanted, by show of hands, did you hear about the opening from our press release? Yes. And then Ms. McCusker. Yeah, it's a press release, okay. Okay, finally it worked. Yeah. All right. Roll call.
Councilmember Sinensi,
Yes.
Councilmember Hodgins,
Aye.
Councilmember Cook,
Aye.
Councilmember Rollins Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Paulton,
Aye.
Vice Chair Sugimura,
No.
Councilmember Batangan,
Aye.
Chair Lee.
Aye.
Chair, you have 8 ayes, 1 no. Motion carries.
Thank you both. Thank you.
So now we have to vote on
Yeah.
Okay.
26-140.
I move.
And then the other motion, Member Paulton.
Thank you. I move to adopt Resolution 24-145.
Second.
Just for the record, 26-145.
Oh, sorry, 26-145.
Okay, seconded by, yeah, moved by Member Paulton, seconded by Member Rollins Fernandez to adopt Resolution 26-145. Discussion.
Thank you, Chair. I'm very grateful for both applications. I'm grateful that we have 3 vacancies coming up in March, and that both applicants were willing to pursue that. It's just, Lahaina has a lot of challenges right now, and I would prefer not to delay representation because of those challenges. I'm stoked that Ms. McCusker put her name forward. I think that she understands the work, especially in her career choice and the things that she said at the podium, although ultimately both will make excellent commissioners. And I hope we get to eventually have both of them. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Member Vice Chair Sugimura.
Yeah, thank you. So I support her and appreciate that she did apply. And I talked to her before the meeting started, and with such grace, I got to meet her. And I look forward to you bringing your values and what I felt when I met you forward to this commission, so deserving. Thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hands, say aye.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Okay, what else do we have to do?
Ordinances.
Moving on to the ordinances.
Pardon me?
Moving on to the ordinances.
Okay.
So currently, there is no one signed up to testify on the ordinances, so we'll go ahead and give last call for anyone wishing to testify on ordinances. Chair seeing none, counting down 3, 2, 1. There's no one else to testify on ordinances.
Any objections to closing public testimony and accepting written testimony on the ordinances? No objections, so ordered. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. For referral to the Housing and Land Use Committee is Bill 109-2026, a bill for an ordinance to amend the Paia Haiku Community Plan designation to light industrial for 19.933 acres identified as tax map keys 225005023 and 225005054 Paia, Hawaii, Paia Sugar Mill Redevelopment Project.
Any objections to referring this to the HLU Committee? So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. Before you is Bill 110-2026, a bill for an ordinance to amend Chapter 1056A, Maui County Code to establish a loading zone on Ka'ohu Street on Wailuku, Hawaii.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. I move to pass Bill 110-2026 on first reading.
Moved by Member Vice Chair Sugimura, second by Member Cook to pass Bill 110 on first reading. This is actually my bill. I was asked by the owner of Ka'ohu Street. Ka'ohu Street. Ka'ohu Store, because there's one parking space in front of the next building, and the next building is his storage for Ka'ohu Store. But somebody keeps parking in his parking space. So this we want to be considered as a loading zone for Ka'ohu store. And this is the reason why I brought it up. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Thank you, members.
Yay.
Thank you, Chair. Before you is Bill 111, 2026, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2027 budget relating to new conditional language for Hawaiian Kamali'i, Inc. in the amount of $30,000.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Oh, Mr. Senensi wanted to. You want to introduce it?
I'm sorry.
How
Okay,
about
who
me?
wanted to
Because
do
it's
it?
my funds.
Okay, Member Paulton.
Oh, it's your funds.
Member Paulton.
I move to pass Bill 111 on first reading.
Second.
Okay, moved by Member Paulton, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to pass Bill 111, 2026 on first reading. Discussion.
Thank you, Chair. This bill was brought to me by the Mayor's administration. It adds conditional language. The Office of the Mayor's West Maui Residency Area Fund for Hawaiian Kamali'i Incorporated in the amount of $30,000. These funds are to be used for the Pailolo Challenge, which is a canoe race, a distance canoe race from OC6 distance canoe race from DT Fleming's across the Pailolo Channel to Molokai. And in supporting that request, I did ask that conditions were placed on it. Hawaiian Kamali'i Inc. was informed that they would not receive anticipated funding from the Hawaiian Tourism Authority that would assist with streaming coverage of the Pailolo Challenge in September. The requirements I put on there were that they provide a safety plan, proof of insurance, and encourage the use of propeller guards because one of the last times I worked that race, a lady lost her leg because she was propped. So those were my conditions. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. As you know, the Hoiva'a is the team sport of Hawaii, and oftentimes it's, well, you can't watch it because it's between islands. You can't have like an audience or like bleachers. It's not like courtside. So I think this really helps to keep the sport exciting, alive, people participating. I may be participating. There's no financial conflict. I don't know if I'm definitely going to be doing this race, but with this funding, you'll be able to watch me. Mahalo, Chair.
Shoot, I don't know if I gotta disclose.
That's what I was gonna say.
That I'm gonna do it, but I think we don't have enough women, so the only way I'll be doing it is if somebody else invites me to join their crew. Like they invited me to join the Pili for Kahakuloa, but I don't know yet.
Not her crew, right?
No, not her
You
crew.
guys will be talking the whole way, coming last. Vice Chair Sugimura.
So I support this. Thank you very much, Member Paulton, for doing this. And I hear that this is a really big deal on Molokai. I've been hearing that for years. So hope to be there one day and join the party. Thank you. I support this.
Okay.
It kind of stages for the Molokai Hawaii because that's like how a lot of the Maui crews get their boats to Molokai instead of just like shipping them or dragging them, racing over.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand. Say aye. 9 ayes, 0 noes. Motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. For referral to the Disaster Recovery, International Affairs and Planning Committee are Bills 112, 2026, a bill for an ordinance establishing Chapter 8.37 Maui County Code on facial recognition technology, and Bill 113, 2026, a bill for an ordinance establishing a Chapter 8.38 Maui County Code on the disclosure, sale, and commercial use of license plate data, reader data.
Any objections to referring this as DRIP? Yeah. So ordered. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Moving on to the ordinances for second and final reading. Before you is Bill 81, 2025, a bill for an ordinance amending Chapter 3.04 Maui County Code on information on county operations.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you, Chair. If there are no objections, may I please ask the clerk to also call up Bill 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, all 2026.
No objections then, huh? Okay, Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And first, we wanted to express our immense gratitude to Budget Director Leslie Milner for working with us on shortening the titles. Bill 103, 2026, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2027 budget relating to the real property tax expiry date for wildfire-impacted properties. Bill 104, 2026, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2027 budget relating to a new appropriation for a grant of $500,000 from the Department of Army for watershed assessment. Bill 105, 2026, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2027 budget relating to new community development block grant appropriations for ARC of Maui County for $38,001 and Kaupo Community Association, Inc. for $92,937. Bill 106, 2026, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2027 budget, amending the conditional language for the Lahaina Restoration Foundation to include Hale Aloha. Bill 107, 2026, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2027 budget relating to a new appropriation for a grant of $390,038 from the State of Hawaii Department of Health for a Rural Health Transformation Program.
A motion?
No discussion. Thank you.
No, you make a motion?
Oh, sorry. I move to pass Bill 81, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 2026, second and final reading. Need a second.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Hodgins to pass Bills 81, 2025, 103, 2026, 104, 2026, 105, 2026, 106, 2026, and 107, 2026. On second and final reading, discussion. Vice Chair Sugimura.
No discussion. Thank you, Chair.
Any discussion? Vice Chair, Member Rollins-Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Support the bills on second and final, and support the shorter titles, and support saving on paper and saving trees. Mahalo, Chair.
Okay, anybody else? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
Okay, 9 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. And that brings us to the end of the calendar. So, members, any final comments?
Good meeting.
If not, this meeting is adjourned.
And before noon. Wow.